what you got for question of the day, Troy?
All right, question of the day is, and I didn't know Letty was going to be here, and it's still funny. Worst car your parents ever owned. Worst car your parents ever owned.
Okay. Well, back in the day, these were great cars, but I will say, so my dad he had a Volvo phase. He had a Volvo phase because he knew a guy that sold used Volvos. And this guy called his organization the Volvo Conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah. And so my dad would buy a Volvo from him, and within like a year and a half, it would critically break. And then he would go back and get another like 1987 Volvo from this guy. Yeah. So
Did they get the same year?
right. We had a lot of boxy, hard-seated Volvos because those seats in those Volvos were like plastic with a little bit of padding on them.
Yeah.
But they were very safe cars.
Volvos have come a long way.
They have come a long way.
Blake's Volvo's nice. But
Yeah. So yeah, my dad had a string of
bad Volvos.
Bad Volvos. Yeah.
Just not good. But they're tanks, I guess.
They are tanks.
Yeah.
They're big, heavy. They were big, heavy metal.
He's like, get in the Volvo. You're
Yeah.
Yeah. Every few months, it's a new Volvo. Yeah.
I'm going to say Dad, after the Pinto died, which he drove to the ground, literally, that's how my father was. He got a Dodge Charger, but it was in like a mustard color, and for some reason that color just does not work with my paradigm. So and it was a hatchback, so I'm already a giraffe, so it was for me to like fit in there. Even when I was like 13 or 14, I was still tall, so it was like hard to like. I remember like it just being awkward. Yeah.
So you hit your growth spurt at like age 9, right?
It was just it's just a string bean the whole time. Yes.
I was going into high school. I was like 4'7".
You guys had growth spurts?
Yeah,
Well, I was
people shorter than me were twins, and they lived on the same street, so we called ourselves cousins. But like, they were girls.
Yeah.
But
Did you
that
date
was only
them?
people shorter than me. Where's my cousins?
Oh. Well, there it is. You're glad that there's somebody your standard of lower standard.
And I would, when Letty's a tall girl, I would date a girl like Letty at the skating rink, so I'd be like,
Oh, you were one of those. I
I
love
can
it.
see that picture.
I
Yeah.
love
I
it.
could skate backwards, so the tall girls are still okay with it. So
Reminds me of that scene from Revenge
You
of the
gotta get the
Nerds.
right skills. You gotta get the right skills.
That's right. Clay, what you got back there?
Well, we had one of these bad boys.
Oh, one of those Toyotas, right? That's a Toyota, isn't it?
It was like baby blue. And it was one of these, the teardrop vans.
That says like if you get in a collision, something bad's gonna happen.
We got into an accident, and that was the last of it.
Yeah.
you're bouncing around like a BB in a paint can.
And that's why I'm so messed up.
That accident.
Ever
did
since
it.
that day, yeah.
I haven't showered since.
Stop showering. Stop.
I gotta tell you, no matter where we sat in the minivan, my mother could always backhand my ass. Like she would always Shaka Khan, and still hold it on the road at the same time.
Letty, what you got?
So clearly, with a father who owned a car dealership, his cars were usually pretty
I was gonna
nice.
say,
you know?
yeah,
We
yeah,
really
sure.
didn't have like bad cars. However, somewhere along the line, I don't even remember. I don't ever not remember it being there. But when I was a kid, my dad had bought this Model T kit car. So it wasn't a real Model T, like a true old, Model T. But it was one of those cars where you built it out, or he didn't, but somebody had built it out. Looked like a Model T, but it just had like probably a Pinto engine in it or something, right? Anyway, and it sat up on the pad at the old Beaux-Arts Ford. You had that big raised patio thing around the old Beaux-Arts Ford. I sat there, always knew it was there, whatever. So nobody ever drove it. Maybe they cranked it up once a month or something like that. Well, when I was 16, got a speeding ticket. 6 months later, second speeding ticket.
Uh-oh.
So my dad says, you can park that car you're in. Like, go ahead and give me the keys back. And for the summer, I had to drive the Model T. This car, listen, max top speed 45 miles an hour, top. And everything was rattling at 45. So you really wanted to keep it like 35 to 40.
Yeah.
The windshield, and it's summer in Florida. The windshield wipers, no light, were this long. So here's me driving around St. Augustine. I'm 16, humiliated.
Yeah,
that I'm having to
totally.
drive this thing. if I even get over 40, it's all shaking, and the little windshield wipers are like, and I'm down here. It's not even moving the water. No. It was a terrible summer. Terrible. I'm just teasing. It wasn't terrible. So no,
under the speed limit.
Yeah, I learned how to drive 35 miles an hour. So actually, I'm a really slow driver, and maybe I never thought about it, but maybe that was some sort of imprint in me back then. Maybe it worked. But
Airing out childhood
so
trauma.
he didn't drive that car, but he did have it, and and he made it clear that he was allowing me to drive. My dad was strict.
So were you scared to go
My
over
dad
the
was
bridges
strict,
in a car that didn't get up to speed that much?
I mean, we lived on the island, so I had to go across the 312 bridge. I was like, everyone's passing me. I'm like,
yabba dabba doo.
Your foot is to the floor.
As a 16-year-old, looking back, I'm like, gosh, you were just lucky to even have a dad that gave a crap that you had a car.
Yeah.
But as a 16-year-old, like, I did think my world was ending.
Yeah,
I was like, this is it. I'm over. I'm done.
The riding lawnmower would have been better.
I had a friend who had a.
Make you go drive it to school.
Yeah. No, it was in the summer. Yeah, timing wise. So
I had a
three
friend
months I drove it.
who had a Lamborghini kit car. And this was, they take a Pontiac Fiero and they stretch out the chassis. And they just put a Lamborghini body on a Pontiac Fiero.
That sounds amazing.
It looked cool, but
doesn't-
we could never make it a full ride without it smoking all to hell.
It's like
and
a
it was
fake
just
Louis Vuitton. I love it.
It's a
it
weird
was.
concept, but there are a lot of them out there.
Yeah,
They're just-
there are.
The chassis is whatever, and
didn't
then
know
they
you
build
could do
around
that.
the body of it.
It was funny because we broke down on the side of the road one time, and this group of dudes came to help us, and they thought they were gonna help out, and they were like, "Oh, it's a Lamborghini, man! This is an awesome car."
It's like a crying game.
right.
It's like a crying
Right.
game of cars.
Oh my god.
He's like, pop the hood. Well, I'll see what's going on, man. Pop the hood. And so, the moment we've all dreaded driving this fake Lamborghini. And we popped the hood, and he's like, "This ain't no Lamborghini. This is a Pontiac." It's just like, we're busted.
Surprise.
Busted. Yeah. What about you, Troy?
All right, mine is it's kind of the same version of Clay, but just 20 years earlier. I had the station wagon, or we had the station wagon with the seat that you face backwards.
Oh, it's seat face backward. Yep.
All right, which sounds like really fun until you go on long trips.
Ooh.
And then you get car sick.
Yeah.
Because you're riding backwards for hours.
Yeah.
And now that I look at it and think about it, if any car would have rear-ended us from behind, because your feet are literally on the back window.
Yeah, that's the dog
yeah.
seat. Yeah.
No. I mean, this was an actual seat that, like, you sat up and you.
It was like the cool kid. That's where I would want to be.
Oh yeah, you would think that until like you've been
I'm
there
sure.
for an hour, and it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so unsafe.
Yeah.
I just remember the waybacks in cars, where as kids, even my overprotective mom would let us wrestle in the wayback on trips. You know?
Absolutely.
We were back there fighting. I don't know how parents did it that way back. All right, I'll look forward to what people are saying out there in comments land.
My sister never stayed on her side.
Never.
There was always fights. Always fights, man.
fighting.
Yeah.